But you must remember, where were you you were there in Windsor?
Oh, I was there. Hated the day. The day was a miserable day. I mean, it was a...
Really? I thought...
Well, was it? Well, I can tell you now, it was the worst royal engagement I ever did, a royal wedding I ever did.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Royal Telly. I'm your host, Chloe. Here at Royal Telly, our mission is to celebrate the impactful endeavors of the Sussexes and shield them from unjust media onslaughts. Today, we're setting the record straight by tackling the baseless critiques from Arthur, Edward, and Matt Wilkinson regarding the Sussexes' wedding. These remarks have stirred quite the controversy, and it's time to dissect their validity with a keen eye. Let's dive right into the facts and uncover the truth behind these allegations. Arthur Edward claims the Sussexes' wedding was the worst he's ever attended. But what's the full story? Let's delve into the comments made by Arthur Edward and Matt Wilkinson.
Oh, I was there. Hated the day. The day was a miserable day. I mean, it was a...
Really? I thought...
Well, was it? Well, I can tell you now, it was the worst royal engagement I ever did, a royal wedding I ever did, because Harry was determined to keep the newspapers away from it as much as possible. Everything was done on long lenses. I mean, I tell you, I had an 800mm lens photographing the guests arriving, and the photographers they engaged for the job was 5 feet away. You know, it was just hopeless. And then the carriage shot, when they went past me in the carriage, they looked the other way. So for me, it was a disaster. And
well, was that deliberate? You were made to feel unwelcome?
I felt so. I felt it wasn't just me; it was the whole of the British press. You know, they were in many ways badly treated. I think it was. Harry was angry with us, really, because some of the things that have been said about Meghan, and quite...
Both remarked that the wedding was miserable and the worst event they've experienced. Edwards, a royal photographer, even expressed a desire to leave Windsor as quickly as possible after the event. But why such harsh criticism? It's important to understand the context. Both Edward and Wilkinson have a history of critical commentary towards the Sussexes. Their remarks often align more with personal disapproval than with professional reporting. This bias raises questions about the objectivity of their statements. Moreover, the timing of these comments is quite intriguing. They surfaced right after Prince Harry and Meghan Markle celebrated their 6th wedding anniversary and following their notably successful humanitarian trip to Nigeria. Could the timing be merely coincidental? Or is it a calculated move to undermine the Sussexes' recent positive publicity? It's also worth noting that these claims were made on platforms known for their sensationalist slants. The nature of the claims and the platforms they were aired on suggest a possible motive to attract attention by sparking controversy, rather than presenting an unbiased recount of events. With such serious accusations, it's crucial we look at the evidence. Let's see what others had to say about the wedding. While a couple of voices were dreary, many others sang a different tune. Let's delve into the myriad of accounts that paint a much brighter picture of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding day. Firstly, renowned guests and several attendees have shared their experiences, which starkly contrast the grim depiction offered by Arthur Edwards. Oprah Winfrey, an esteemed guest, described the event as transformative and uplifting. Her sentiments were echoed by many who felt a palpable sense of unity and love throughout the ceremony. Similarly, British actor Idris Elba, who DJ'd at the reception, remarked on the vibrant and joyful atmosphere. Elba shared that there was a genuine spirit of celebration, with guests dancing and enjoying themselves well into the night. His testimony aligns with numerous reports from other attendees who described the day as nothing short of magical. Moreover, the international media coverage highlighted the groundbreaking elements of the wedding, such as the inclusion of a gospel choir and a powerful sermon by Bishop Michael Curry, which was praised for its passion and message of love and acceptance. These aspects were reported to have moved many guests to tears, reflecting a ceremony that resonated deeply with a global audience. Additionally, social media was awash with positive reactions from viewers around the world, who felt connected to the ceremony through the broadcast. The hashtags #Royal Wedding and #Harry and Meghan trended globally, with millions expressing their admiration and joy for the couple's union. Local businesses in Windsor also reported a festive atmosphere, with the town bustling with well-wishers and tourists who came to celebrate the occasion. The local economy saw a significant boost, with shops, restaurants, and hotels experiencing one of their busiest weekends. In conclusion, while the narrative spun by certain critics might highlight negativity, the overwhelming majority of accounts and evidence suggest a day filled with joy, love, and celebration. It seems the narrative might not be as bleak as Mr. Edwards and Wilkinson painted it. Now let's juxtapose the negative remarks with the overwhelming positivity shared by many. When dissecting the narrative surrounding the Sussexes' wedding, it becomes evident that the story isn't as one-sided as some would have you believe. Arthur Edward and Matt Wilkinson paint a rather grim picture of the event, describing it as miserable and the worst event they've ever attended. However, this account starkly contrasts with the flood of positive testimonials from other guests and various media reports. Witnesses and attendees have shared stories of a joyous celebration filled with love and laughter. The atmosphere was described as electric, with guests moved by the ceremony and the palpable love between the couple. Public figures and celebrities in attendance shared moments on social media that depicted a very different scene, one of celebration and camaraderie. Why then the stark contrast? It's essential to consider the motives behind the narratives. Now let's address the claim that Archie's birth was a disaster.
Yeah, and then when the baby was born, when Archie was born, that was another, in my view, a disaster because, but I mean, I say this, but Harry's baby, Archie, was almost teething before we found out it was born, you know. I mean, it was, we were led to believe that she was gone into labour at 2:00 when the baby had been born many hours earlier. We were led to believe it was going to be a home birth and it was at a hospital. There was that, the whole thing was just stage managed to suit them.
When we peel back the layers of sensationalism, what do we find? Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor was born on May 6, 2019. The announcement was met with joy and celebrations not just in the United Kingdom, but globally. Buckingham Palace released a statement expressing the delight of both families, highlighting the healthy and happy condition of mother and baby. This was further echoed by the throngs of well-wishers gathered at Windsor and the millions celebrating online. Contrast this with Arthur Edwards' stark portrayal of the event as another disaster. It's crucial to question the basis of such a claim. Public records and media coverage from the time show an outpouring of support and positivity. Major news outlets shared heartwarming stories and photos of the new family, celebrating this joyous addition. Moreover, the royal couple introduced Archie to the world in a serene photo session at St. George's Hall in Windsor Castle. The images captured were nothing short of tender and joyful, a narrative strongly supported by both public and official sentiments. These accounts are a far cry from the bleak picture painted by certain critics. Once again, the official and public reactions paint a much more positive picture. Edward and Wilkinson are known critics of the Sussexes, and their negative comments could be seen as part of a broader pattern of bias against the couple. This bias is not just a personal vendetta. It reflects a certain media inclination to sensationalize and skew to attract views and controversy. Furthermore, the impact of such negative narratives can't be underestimated. They shape public perception, often overshadowing the positive aspects of the Sussexes' work and personal milestones. By focusing on the negative, these narratives fuel a divisive public discourse, which does not reflect the reality experienced by many others at the same event. The discrepancies between these accounts raise important questions about the integrity and agenda of certain media figures. The differences in portrayal might suggest that more than just personal opinion is at play here. There is a deliberate shaping of a public narrative to serve specific interests. Clearly, the day was far from miserable for many who were actually there. The question remains, why the disparity? Beyond just a wedding day, let's consider the broader implications of these claims. When the media presents such a starkly negative view of events like the Sussexes' wedding, one must wonder about the underlying motives. Could this be a simple case of personal distaste, or is there more at play? Delving deeper, it becomes evident that figures like Arthur Edward and Matt Wilkinson have a history of criticism towards the Sussexes. This isn't just about a bad day, it's about a consistent pattern of negativity. This raises a question: why are these figures so invested in painting the Sussexes in such an unfavorable light? The timing of these remarks is also telling, coming right after the Sussexes celebrated their 6th anniversary and a successful humanitarian trip. These comments seem strategically placed. It's as if there's a deliberate attempt to counterbalance their positive publicity with negativity. Such tactics are not just petty, they're manipulative, aiming to skew public perception. This brings us to the impact of media narratives. These stories aren't just idle gossip, they shape how people view and judge public figures. The power of the media to influence public opinion is immense, and with power comes responsibility. Yet, when the narrative is biased or manipulated, it distorts public understanding and fosters unwarranted negativity. Understanding the context helps us see the bigger picture and the possible agenda behind the scenes. It's crucial to approach media stories with a healthy dose of skepticism and to consider what might be lurking just out of view. Thank you for joining me on this enlightening journey to uncover the truth. Today, we've dissected the claims and highlighted the positive perspectives overshadowed by biased reporting. At Royal Telly, our commitment remains unshaken, supporting the Sussexes and promoting a fair media narrative. It's crucial to challenge misinformation and stand for what's right. Thank you for your support. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Royal Telly for more content that stands with truth and justice.